Prayer Chapel. Have you checked out this space yet? Have you used it? It's a great quiet place to get away and to talk to the Lord if you need that space that's dedicated for that kind of usage. I want to talk to you about our 3-service format beginning January 12th. We're going to go to 8, 9:30, and 11. Some of you may have some questions as to what this means for your family, for the flow of a Sunday morning, and so I encourage you to take a look at the fact sheet that was part of this email, and I hope that this video helps you out a lot. As I said in my announcement on Sunday morning, Faith family, God is moving in our congregation and in our ministry. This is a movement of the Spirit. And so, as more and more people come to know Christ and become connected to their faith life here at a place called Faith in Northeast Lincoln, we're going to make room for the body to grow. And so, in order to do that, we're moving to 3 service times on a Sunday morning, 8, 9:30, and 11. If you typically go to 8 o'clock, or if you currently go to 10:30, you're not going to see an appreciable disruption to your typical schedule. If you are a family with children, small kids, you go to Sunday school, or if you have youth age kids who go to the youth Bible study, that's still going to happen at 9:30. So what can happen is you go to worship at 8, like you typically did. You go to worship at 11 instead of 10:30, but then 9:30 is still a Bible study hour. If you attend one of our adult Bible studies, again, that's still at the 9:30 hour. Now, there may be other Bible studies that we offer at different times moving forward, but we're going to start here and kind of keep it simple. So all the Bible studies will still be at 9:30, but instead of running for 45 minutes, they run for an hour. That means that if you have kids, youth, or if you're an adult who likes to join with us in one of our adult Bible studies, like say, shameless plug for the pastor's study, you're going to get an hour of time in the Word of God rather than 45 minutes, which is good. If you go to 8, go to 8, then go to Bible study at 9:30. If you take your kids normally to Bible study at 9:30 and then you go to 10:30, you'll go 9:30 to 10:30, and then you've got 30 minutes for a change, and then things will start up again at 11. For those of you who wonder about the history of Faith and where things have been in the past, when I arrived here 6 years ago, the late worship service was at 10:45. Now it's just 15 minutes later at 11. I'm the one that moved it to 10:30 a little bit earlier. And at one point in Faith's history, we had a late service that started at 11:15. So it has moved from time to time in our history. And so now it's going to be at 11. That's really the only difference. 9:30 is the different kind of situation. So if we're adding a third service at the 9:30 hour, what does that mean? Well, it does mean that Bible studies run concurrently with worship. So what you're going to see on a typical Sunday morning is that if I'm preaching, Pastor Dan is teaching the pastor's Bible study in the Commons, that's the school cafeteria, at 9:30. I'm going to have lay people who are trained and volunteering to help me as a liturgist, and so Dan and I are going to train those folks. But you'll see if Dan is preaching, I'm teaching the Bible study at 9:30. If I'm preaching, Pastor Dan is teaching the Bible study at 9:30. So that's really the only difference. And I do know that some people will make the decision to put their kids in Bible study while they're in worship. That's, of course, their choice as a family. But what I'm excited about is that we have a great team of volunteers who work with Renee Hodges, who heads up our children and youth ministries. And these folks are dedicated to these children, and they're going to spend an hour now getting those kids into their Jesus stories and into the Word of God. It's going to be a great opportunity for discipleship. If you do go to the late contemporary service, it means that we're still going to have children's church during the sermon time. Those kids will still be dismissed, as always, into the music room, as we've been doing, so nothing really changes there either. In terms of format, 8 o'clock is still traditional. 11 o'clock is still with one accord as a contemporary setting, so nothing changes there. The only difference will be at 9:30. 9:30 will be sort of a blended setting. I'll be robed. Dan will be robed when he's up there. So you'll see us in those traditional robes, but then the service itself is just a little bit more relaxed. It still follows kind of a more traditional format, but it is a little bit more relaxed. And so sometimes you'll see one accord musicians who help lead, and sometimes you'll see some of the more traditional musicians of our congregation helping to lead. It's kind of plug and play, and it'll go back and forth that way. It's designed that way as a service format. You'll also see more special music, soloists and the like at the 9:30 hour from time to time to kind of beef up the experience a little bit. So that's really the difference. 9:30 is an added service that will be somewhere between our straight ahead traditional service and our contemporary setting at 11 o'clock. You know, one of the exciting things about going to 3 services is that there's more opportunities for folks to serve. You know, it's great to come to church and to sit and to let the worship style, whether that's traditional or contemporary, kind of wash over you, and you're participating and you're really in the moment emotionally. But another great way to participate in church on Sunday morning is to lead. And we're going to have more opportunities to lead. So you're going to see more people being able to usher. We've got to increase the number of ushers who help people to find seats and find their way around our campus on a Sunday morning. So in order to do that, we're actually adding women ushers. And I don't know if Faith has ever had women ushers. If they haven't, then this is brand new. If they have, then this is a return to something that we've done in the past. But I'm excited for it because it means that men and women are going to be working together, and I think that's positive. We're going to increase the number of folks who are involved with audiovisual to help us lead through the services. So if that's an interest that you have, there's a place for you to serve very soon. We're going to need more men to help distribute the Lord's Supper. They don't have to join the elders board and they don't have to be known by some sort of title. They just have to be men who are willing to be trained on how to help with distribution on a Sunday morning to make things run smoothly. Overall, when you think about the liturgists who are going to be helping at the 9:30, you think about more people helping with distribution, ushers, and others. We're going to need more people serving coffee. We're going to roll out the red carpet for our guests and visitors when they're with us on a Sunday morning. So we need more people serving coffee and to hand that out with a smile on their face and to engage people. I'm excited about what this means for more opportunities to serve and having more people involved on a Sunday morning. So I hope that this helps in terms of some of the questions that you may have. And check out that fact sheet. And as always, if you have more questions, see one of our church elders or members of our church council and address your questions to them. They'd be happy to help you.